नमस्कार श्री Ramakrishna Kathamrita तव कथामृतं तप्त जीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमंगलं श्रीमदादतं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः। श्री Ramakrishna Kathamrita प्रथम भाग तृतीय खंड चतुर्थ परिच्छेद. Now we are starting the fourth chapter of this third section of the first volume of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna in Bengali. Sri Ramakrishna has come to Sinti Brahmo Samaj, participating in their semi-annual festivities, and already he has started uh, talking to the devotees, sharing his teachings with the devotees, and the devotees are extremely joyous. It is once again a mart of joy that has been created here in this hall of the garden house of Beni Madhav Pal. It is a mart of joy now. Sri Ramakrishna talking in the third chapter, we saw Sri Ramakrishna talking a lot about the tamogunak aspect in devotional life. Now, normally the tamoguna, the tamas in a worldly life is considered to be a totally negative kind of quality. But Sri Ramakrishna says when this tamas is given a different direction in the devotional life, it can be very powerful. In fact, you can reach the ultimate goal on the spiritual path even by leading the tamasic life of devotion. How? Sri Ramakrishna had sung those two songs that what is the need for me to go to that Gaya, Ganga, Prabhas, Kashi, Kanchi? Why? There is no need for me to visit all these holy places. I have taken the name of my mother. That faith, that fiery faith, that is the indication of tamas in devotional life. And then Sri Ramakrishna had given those two beautiful examples of even how a, a tamasic attitude of a doctor can prove him to be the best among the doctors. A doctor, here Sri Thakur has given us that example. You can categorize doctor in three categories: inferior doctor, inferior quality, a mediocre doctor, and supreme-most doctor with the best doctor. How? In fact, Sri Ramakrishna says that if a doctor just, talks sweetly to a patient, this is the medicine, you take it, and doesn't follow up whether the patient is taking the medicine or not, he will just give him medicine. Okay, he will check the pulse, take this medicine, not bothered whether he is taking or not. And then there is a mediocre doctor who will very sweetly, lovingly, he will cajole the patient. He will talk sweetly to the patient. Oh, my dear patient, if you want to get well, take this medicine. And that lovingness, that cajoling, that counseling ends there itself. He also doesn't ensure that the patient is taking the medicine. And then Sri Ramakrishna says, in fact, the best quality of doctor, the best doctor would be he who possesses tamasic quality, who enforces the patient to take the medicine. And if the patient is so reluctant, he will even put his knee on the chest of the patient, open his mouth, and pour down the medicine down his throat, so that the medicine enters the patient's system and starts working and starts curing the patient. Doesn't matter, he has shown his tamasic way, but that is the best doctor. And in the same way, Sri Ramakrishna has told us about, like the three types of doctors, physicians, three types of teachers also. In fact, the sweet talker teacher won't be of any much, high rated qualities, not at all superior quality. He will be inferior. He will just comes to the classroom, teaches the students whether anything is going inside the student, not bothered. He will come, he will open the book, read out the chapter, that's the end of it. He is the inferior teacher. The mediocre teacher, he will tell students, oh my student, you must study this. If you want to pass in the exam, you must study what I am telling you. You must work hard on your homework. You must work hard for examinations. That is only the talk the teacher will give. He is a mediocre type. But the best teacher, he ensures, if required, he may even give one slap to his student, whether he has picked up the right thing or not, whether he has understood it correctly or not. He will ask the student 1,000 times, have you understood? Have you understood? Tell me what it is. It will be like he will be so much pressurizing the student to understand whether he has really learnt. So that is how the the tamas can also be made use of, put to use in the devotional life. And now, the fourth chapter, having talked about the gunas in the devotional life, Sri Ramakrishna now is going to talk about Brahmer Shporup Mukhe Bola Joyna. What is the nature of Brahman? You cannot describe it with words. So that is the fourth chapter about, and Sri M has started this fourth chapter with a verse from Taittiriya Upanishad. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. Where the speech, the words, they go and come back along with the mind. Vacho nivartante. Nivartante is gets back. Reaching there, the words, the speech gets back along with mind. Aprapya manasa saha, because that cannot be understood. So the words along with mind, they come back from where they originated. They cannot understand. They cannot reach Brahman. So that is about yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha, Taittiriya Upanishad. And while talking about this in the fourth chapter, one Brahmo devotee, he asks a question. Ekjon Brahmo bhakto jigyasha korilen, Ishpor Shakar na Nirakar. One Brahmo devotee, he asks a question whether the God is with form, Sakar, or Nirakar, or formless. And Sri Ramakrishna loves this question. Earlier also, to him also he had asked this question, do you believe in formless or with form? And then when M had answered, I love formless aspect. And Sri Ramakrishna had said, that is very good. One must have faith in something. But don't think only formless is true. Think that God with form is also true. And the student of logic, Sri M, couldn't comprehend that teaching of Sri Ramakrishna at that point of time. That how can two negatives be present in the same time frame? If God is formless, how can God with form remain present? It has to be either of two. But now Sri M has started understanding, and this is the topic Sri Ramakrishna loves most to talk upon. So Sri Ramakrishna, Tar iti kora joy na, tini nirakar, abar sakar. ভক্তের জন্য তিনি সাকার, যারা জ্ঞানী অর্থাৎ জগৎকে যাদের স্বপ্নবোধ মনে হয়েছে তাদের পক্ষে তিনি নিরাকার। Sri Ramakrishna says, তার ইতি করা যায় না। You cannot limit God. You cannot just put it either it is sakar or nirakar. No. তিনি নিরাকার আবার সাকার। God is formless and again God is with form. ভক্তের জন্য তিনি সাকার। For the sake of devotees, God takes form. God becomes with form. যারা জ্ঞানী, those who are following the path of knowledge, অর্থাৎ জগৎকে যাদের স্বপ্নবোধ মনে হয়েছে, those who think the worldly life to be a dream-like state. ব্রহ্মসত্য জগৎ মিথ্যা. Those who think only Brahman is true and the world is dream-like, it is false. তাদের পক্ষে তিনি নিরাকার. For those kind of people, God is certainly formless. ভক্ত জানে আমি একটি জিনিস, জগৎ একটি জিনিস. Devotee, how the devotee thinks that God is one thing, the world is another thing. So there is a differentiation as far as God and the world is concerned. তাই ভক্তের কাছে ঈশ্বর ভক্তি হয়ে দেখা দেন. That's why Lord takes the form of a personal God for the sake of his devotee. জ্ঞানী যেমন বেদান্তবাদী নেতি নেতি বিচার করে. Whereas the knower of Brahman, the aspirants who are treading the path of knowledge, they like Vedantists, they reason, not this, not this. This is not real. The discrimination. This is not real. This is not real. This is not real. বিচার করে জ্ঞানীর বোধ হয়ে যে আমি মিথ্যা, জগত মিথ্যা, স্বপ্নবোধ. By reasoning like this, not this, not this, the jnani, the person of knowledge, he understands, he realizes that I'm not true, I'm not real, I'm unreal. This body, this world is also unreal, dream-like. জ্ঞানী ব্রহ্মকে বোধ করে. The person of knowledge, he can just understand the nature of Brahman. He cannot talk about it. He can just realize the ultimate truth. তিনি যে কি মুখে বলতে পারে না. The jnani, the one following the path of knowledge, he can only realize what is Brahman. He cannot explain to anybody what is Brahman. He cannot put limitations to Brahman by putting him in words. Brahma cannot be expressed, and that's what this the verse from Taittiriya Upanishad that Sri M has started this chapter with, yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha, where the speech along with mind goes there and comes back. It cannot stay there. It cannot describe what Brahman is through words. So that is what the difference in God with form and the formless God. For devotee, it is, yes, God with form, because out of compassion for the devotee, the God takes form. But that is as far as the devotional path is concerned. When it is a path of knowledge, when it is a path of jnana, then there is no form. There is no need of form. Then the follower of this path, he starts discriminating. This is not real. This is not real. This is not real. Then there is only one reality. And when he attains that state of realization, he cannot explain anything in words. That is only to be experienced by the knower of the Brahman. He cannot tell them what is Brahman like. Brahman is Brahman. When you experience what Brahman is, then you will realize what is Brahman. You cannot say he is like the form of Lord Krishna or form of Kali, the blue color. No, all those things, they don't matter. It is not possible to describe the Brahman in words. So that is God with form for the sake of devotees, and God and the formless God for the jnanis. As simple as that, Sri Ramakrishna tells. And he is further going to elaborate on this same topic in our next reading also. So till then, Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Ramakrishnaaya. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Thakur, Jai Ma, Jai Swamiji.